comments as we're here. Recently, the legend Bob Arum made these comments, and I needed Christine to give me her take on this.
As far as Tank Davis is concerned, I think that more and more we're talking with PBC, and we'll be making fights with them.
Is part of Turki Al Sheikh and the new is part of that prompting you guys to work together more when in the past you may not have.
That is correct.
Okay. So that's competition in the marketplace is a good thing, kind of thing.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So.
Bob. Not only does he admit to chaos happening behind the scenes, but admittingly joining forces. And I'm gonna be at your opinion before I give mine. What was your take on Bob's Voltron transforming right now?
A lot of people are like, oh, what's going on, this and that. But I mean, they've worked together before. Like PBC and Top Rank worked together on the Tank Davis card with Puelo and Sandar. So this is not like the first time. I think it's been another time too. I can't remember the exact fight, but. Yeah, he's admitting it. I mean, we see it. Everybody sees it. He has to just say, okay, this is what's going on. How are we going to fix it? Let me talk to my friends at PBC and let's get some things going. So, I mean, I'm cool with it, honestly. I don't think these promoters are going anywhere. Yes, Uncle Turk right now, he's the big guy on campus. He's putting together like some of the top names with other top names or not. But they're not going anywhere.
I'm gonna say that I kind of disagree with you, and this is why. I feel like those fights they were just made whatever, but like I feel like the key thing is when he brings up Gervonta Davis, right? And why do I bring up Gervonta is because he says a lot of it has to do with him. It has to do with Gervonta. And what is the biggest thing with Gervonta Davis? The fact that his willingness to fight the bigger competition, right? The better fighters.
Seems that way, yeah.
And to be honest with you, I mean, you're relying on that is your biggest superstar, right? Let's just say. That's the guy that you like, hey, you know what? We got to make this happen. And he's unwilling to fight the best. Not only that, I mean, if you really break down what's going on with Turkey and Dana White, a lot of the superstars were introduced to Turkey and built a relationship to Turkey through the promoters. Top Rank lost Shakur Stevenson, right? Shakur was like, "Well, they're not giving me what I want."
Yeah.
Turkey,
no, you're right. But Tank has also said it very plainly and very clearly that he's not working with Uncle Turkey. He's not. He refuses.
Yeah, but he also said that he's not willing to fight the big fish.
He pretty much has said that.
If I'm Prime, if I'm these networks that want to put up this money, right? And we've seen PBC not want to put up money for Canelo versus Munguia, right? Remember that they were hesitant with the Lamont Roach situation because of the return. How do you counter that when now this guy, people are really catching up to like, the numbers aren't there. Lamont Roach apparently that pay-per-view did not do well, right? How do you offset that when Turkey has the relationship with almost all of the mega stars, Ryan Garcia's?
Well, that's the thing. He's got his shelf of guys and he's going to be paying them money, and he's going to be doing this TKO thing, and they're going to be on Netflix and everywhere else. Yeah. And then you have PBC and you have Top Rank coming together. So the guys that are with PBC, the guys that are with Top Rank, they still have to fight. They still have to go on. And they have the same guys in some of the weight classes, so they're going to put these fights together. Uncle Turk is not the save all. Like, he's not the only show in town. He might be on the biggest platform or have the biggest platform right now, but we still got these other guys. They're not going to go anywhere.
See, I hear what you're saying, right? But you got DAZN is the only place left when they were being funded by Turki Al Sheikh, right? They were getting their big fights from Turki Al Sheikh. They're just a broadcast network, right? Netflix, right? In my opinion, with Turkey launching this Netflix situation, possibly having the you got Amanda Serrano on Netflix, right? They're into the game.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Can Top Rank, can these guys maybe get a situation with Netflix? Netflix is in that space. Because that's what's going to help also pay for these fights. They don't really even have somewhere to go. I think the only place is the Zone. But if you don't
Well,
have
they
the
have.
big
Well,
fights,
they've been ESPN. You
they're with
know,
ESPN.
they were just on ESPN this weekend, and who
Yeah,
knows if they're trying to like get something else together. We don't know because things are changing.
yeah.
Things are changing. So yeah, what are they going to do? Are they going to do ESPN? Are they going to try to like uh, um prolong the contract? We know PBC has the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
They're going to have to come together and figure something out, and
And
I think
yeah.
that they will.
And you know what? Even with look at the beef with Teofimo Lopez. Teofimo Lopez is out the door. He
Hmm.
wants out of his contract. There's a lot of issues behind the scenes with the star
For sure,
fighters
for
that
sure.
and then when you have the one guy that's the big draw that doesn't want to fight the big fighters, it's going to be very difficult to then turn something. They're going to have to rely on some of the other stars. Hopefully Virgil Ortiz with Golden Boy. Maybe they can kind of unite with Oscar. Oscar's been bitter about the situation.
I see it happening. Like I do. I see all the they were the big dogs at one time, and now maybe they're the puppies again. But I see them all coming together and working together. I,
Now,
I do.
I feel like Turkey's done such a good job of cornering and getting all the superstars under one thing. By the way, shout out to D Hood Wheeler for the donation. Set up Clarissa Shields for
Yes.
every mom. I don't know about that one, man. I ain't gonna lie. But I feel like he's done such a good job in regards of pretty much like invading. Like he pretty much
You,
invaded the space.
no,
And
I see what you're saying, and he's done a good job at paying these fighters this big money and getting this TKO thing that's separate from Riyadh season. But do we really, really, really care to see Canelo versus Skull? I mean, let's be honest.
I don't, but do we really want to see Terrence Crawford and Canelo?
Yeah, I do.
And Netflix does. Netflix got that.
And Netflix
Look, they're
does.
possibly going to get the fight, and that's going to be
Yeah.
the first fight that Dana White launches. So,
Hmm.
like, I get it. You're gonna. I mean, Canelo's a big enough name to say, all right, I'm going to fight. I don't want to call a scrub, but at least they're going to get a mega fight with this guy. With Javante's like, all
Yeah.
right, Lamont Roach wasn't supposed to be a challenge. We're going to get the rematch, but after that, I'm going to give you Manteca Part 2. That's what he's going to give you. How are you going to continue to sell that? And that's why I found it key that he specifically mentioned Gervonta, because they're hanging their hat on someone who's not showed willingness to fight the big fights.
Yeah.
That's what scares me in that situation. If
Mhm.
your biggest superstar is not willing to put it all out there and ask for the money that he's asking for, it's a very difficult sell. These networks want stars. You know what I mean? They want
Yeah, for sure.
when
Of
they come
course.
to the table, are we going to get Javante to fight Shakur? Is it even
Yeah, they need to see numbers. Absolutely. They need to see dollar signs.
They said Netflix is linked to TKO MVP. Absolutely.
Yes,
You know what I'm saying?
absolutely.
And Netflix is listen. Netflix already has the rematch, Amanda Serrano, Katie Taylor
Hmm.
in July. That's
Yep.
maybe they're trying to put a
Yep.
clean sweep, and that's why they're looking at Turkey. Like, all right, Turkey, what else you got for us? They're trying
Right.
to make Anthony Joshua, who's in the pocket of Turkey, and who else? Tyson Fury. These are all major fights, and
Hmm.
again, you know, they're using Dana to kind of structure as well for a lot of these fighters. A lot of these fighters, and let's be honest, they're not happy with the promotional companies they're with because they don't get a push. They get pushed to the back burner. Dana's giving you an opportunity, maybe fight 4 times a year and make those checks. You've had fighters. How difficult sometimes it is for you to get fights.
It's very
And,
difficult. We're going through it right now with chicken. It's very difficult.
and she's a champ. So I feel like,
Absolutely.
you know, I feel like when TKO dropped that or leaked the pay scale, I feel like that's just like the skeleton. I feel like it is gonna go up. I feel like it will be. And I think they're gonna make it as enticing to kind of force these promoters to build kind of a structure in order to compete with them. But it's gonna be really, really tough because the one thing you know about Dana White is consistency. He has
Hmm.
events. Who's thrown more fights than Dana?
Yeah, no, you're absolutely right. And honestly, like I don't have the answers. I don't know all the answers. Everything's going to have to really play out. I don't even think that, Bob and Al and De La Hoya have all the answers. They're trying to figure out what they're going to do, what their next move is. They're not ready to bow out. They have too many fighters. They have contracts. They're not going to bow out, and they don't need to. We have this echelon here with Uncle Turk, and then we have these other guys that are going to try to figure out what they're doing. We have Pro Box too. There's many that are involved. So it's going to be very interesting to see what everybody's next move is. We've already seen Top Rank.